just me and him, Paul. So today when some brothers...
No, I told a story in the studio. I don't know where you heard it.
Yeah. Today when some two brothers...
You and him came to collect a decoder.
Yes.
I was there.
When some two brothers...
Of Mills.
Samuel Atta Mills and Kadman Atta Mills want to create an impression. At the time that their brother was a candidate, where were they? That today, my brother. Which brother? Which brother?
But where were they?
Thank you, where were they? Samuel Atta Mills, the first time I saw him was when we were in opposition. So 08. The president had to go to the US. The candidate had to go to US for some campaign tour. Talking about my eldest brother, Charles. When we arrived at GFK, it was my brother, Charles. We all call him Fonzie.
UN. New York then.
New York. He picked us up from JFK, drove us to his house at White Plains in New York. Professor Mills, candidate Mills, slept in my brother's house.
Oh, wow.
We shared a meal together. Myself and Balo.
2008.
2008.
The election year.
Good. Early that year.
Yeah, but it's still the election year. And it was still you and him.
Just me and him. And one security man. So my brother Charles, that is family, picked up this professor to his house at White Plains. His children had to vacate their room. That it was on his children's bed that this professor slept humbly. My brother and his wife and his family never forgot it. And when he became president, every time he was at the UN General Assembly, he will request, Koku, I want to see your brother and his family. And they will come. And they will also enter his bedroom and sit with him in there. So, Sammy, where were you? And Sam, you understand? Subsequently, we flew from JFK to Dallas Airport in Washington. Kadman picked us up to his house in Potomac.
So you met Kadman too?
So we met Kadman. And we stayed in Kadman's house. That was when I met Sammy for the first time as a sibling.
He was in Kadman's house?
He wasn't in Kadman's house. He came later from some outlandish part of the US.
Oh, he was based there?
He was based there. Some outlandish part of the US. I still remember how he was apparelled. But I'll leave that conversation for another day. And when his two brothers sat him down, I was there when I'm listening to every conversation. A complete recluse and renegade who had found himself in the US and disappointed the family, doing nothing and annoyed with all his siblings.
Sammy?
Yes. This one.
The MP?
That one. I have really had no regard for him. And his brother, the president, knew. He said, Koku, I know. Look, the first time President Mills, and when I say it, I stand up, had to apologize to me, was in Tamale. All because of this Sammy. Because some monies that should have been given to media person, how Sammy created the story that I had chopped media money. And Paul, you have been in the media for so many years. No, that's nothing. That's one thing nobody can pin on me.
For sure.
But Sammy tried to create that impression. And when I heard it that night from the same media people, of course, out of strong emotions, I said that the next morning I was on a flight out of Tamale back to Accra. I'll resign and look for something else to do because I will not allow Samuel Atta Mills to mess up my image and my integrity. If it is because of his brother he wants to do that, I'll walk away. Of course, walls have ears. So the president heard that night. First thing in the morning, I got a call from the ADC, Colonel Lawson. Immediately, I walked into his room. Koku, I heard about everything that happened last night. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It's because of me that my brother offended you. So forgive me. Please don't resign. Stay, let's work. Tears just rolled down my cheeks.
By this time, were you communication director at the
castle? Yes, I was communication director at the castle, at the presidency.
And Samuel was he was not an MP?
He was not an MP then. So by this time, he had now come from his US
to base here.
Power
has come.
As he will fear away. But
Kadman too was here.
No, he was. Yeah, so he too came.
But you seem to have more respect for Kadman than Samuel.
Certainly. until the last 2 years that he is forcing me to remove the wrap of respect around him, because he's also getting into this mud with Sammy. Otherwise, I've always respected Kadman. As for Sammy, he was just a loafer at the castle, had no office, had no official designation. Sammy should come and tell me his official designation at the castle. Zero.
Brother of the president.
That's all. Now Adom-Otchere will be 90. Today he's a security specialist. Tomorrow he's a communication specialist. The other day he's a food specialist. The next day he's a medical doctor. My brother. Fortunately for us, his brother respected all of us and the rules that we played around him. And Sammy thought that he could influence his brother against us.
Okay, let's fast forward.
And to the extent that he couldn't succeed in influencing his brother against us, almost every one of us around his brother became an enemy.